Alrighty, yo, what's going on, all my gamers, all my reaction gamers chat? I am back. I've been watching the World's Finals, and man, T1 winning is that's something special. Chat, I'm trying a new setup, but that's all technical stuff. Y'all don't want to hear about that. Chat, we're almost at 1,000 subs, so sub if you guys want to support the channel, and also join the Discord, because if you guys ever want to send me videos, you guys could do that. And I'm trying to grow this community, so I really should get my Discord up and running. But the current state of VTubing, a retrospective. We've been talking a lot about VTubing on this channel, and I've been having a lot of fun discussions about it. Some not so fun, right? Some controversies I feel like need to be discussed. They'll show like bad parts of the community, but I don't know what this is gonna show. Let's get into it and let's find out what it's about.
This whole presentation is some thoughts that I have on the current state of
VTubing.
This is from a person who has only really been VTubing for like the last year. Ooh. Obviously, please take everything I say with a grain of salt.
I feel like I am kind of a veteran VTuber, even though I've kind of never really taken off, just because I haven't been taking it as seriously as I should be for like content creation. So this is kind of like, for this channel, this is like the first year doing this seriously, quote unquote. And then for Gacha, that's about a year ish, going on 2 years. So yeah.
So all of this kind of stemmed from this.
I don't know if that makes me a veteran or not, but yeah.
Nemo Nevermore. Oh my goodness. This was a quote tweet in response to a YouTube video that Ludwig made, where he tried to stream on a new account, and he didn't stop streaming until he had someone chat in his chat for the first time, which took about 5 hours.
Okay. There's a lot I don't like about Jellywig, but I really did like that explanation. Like there are a lot of business sided things that I do want to hear from. Like I don't want to hear his opinion on anything else but business. I feel like he's got a mind for business, and I want to. I seen a post about it. I never ended up talking about it. I never got around to making a video about it. But I remember this happening, and it was really, really cool. It also really, really sucks to know that on a brand new, fresh account, his first viewer didn't come until like 6 hours into the stream, and he was like constantly switching categories.
So very bleak on like starting out streaming for the first time. Yeah. Washed up ex corpo VTuber here with her hot take. It's crazy to think about how I.
Also, I should probably. I'm gonna be in the middle chat. We're gonna be right here because I think she's gonna be like in the side to side.
Streamed on Twitch for 2 years with 10 CCV on a good day. I somehow got hired into a corpo, and now even though I'm not a corpo anymore, the only reason you're seeing this tweet from Nemo Nevermore is because I was in a VTuber company. Had I never joined a corpo, I would have given up and faded into obscurity back in 2013 or 2023. I said 2013. I feel for all the Twitch indies, because trying to make schedules, plan call-ups, make friends as an indie VTuber on Twitch is so soul-crushing when you have no friends or connections with anybody else in the VTuber.
Oh my god, dude. Making friends in VTubing is like next to impossible, right? I have been in like some pretty huge not huge collabs, but like physically huge collabs, like 50 plus VTubers. I've walked away with 0 new friends a lot of the time. There were times, like there are still VTubers that I know of that are cool with me, but they don't message me, if that makes sense, right? But I get that, right? People are busy. You don't have to message people to be their friends. That's totally cool. And it is always nice to know that I can go into their stream right now and they'll be like, "Hi, Rin." And it's all love. That's all that really matters to me, is if it's going to be all love. But this is also another interesting discussion that we never, I feel like we never really have on a, how do I say this without being mean? We never have this discussion on an adult level of corpos versus indies, right? Everyone wants to just badmouth corpos and, oh, corpos are bad. They take your money on this and this and that, but they never really want to discuss how much you're really getting in value from comparative to what you're losing. Now, of course, there are only a select few of corpos that I would personally recommend for people to join, and even then, none of them are for men. I'm sorry to hear. This is more for the ladies, right? When it comes to the corpos, I do believe that it's almost like I've compared it to signing with a professional sports team. You want to go for the NFL. You don't want to go for the X League, right? You don't want to make. You want to get the millions of dollars in money. Like you want to have the $1 million contract, not the $50,000 a year where you probably have to work a second job on the weekends or something like that, right? You want to have that the prestige of the corporation you're in, right? So a HoloLive. If you're Western, probably Phase Connect. It's probably the only one that's outlasted everyone, right? Phase Connect, VLore are the only other ones I could. Phase Connect and VLore are the only ones I could really discuss. Like the Phase Connect new girls, the new generation. They're gonna be just fine, right? Especially under the Phase Connect umbrella. I don't know about any other corpo. Someone else is gonna have to discuss that. I'm just a huge fan of Phase, right? But when you debut on something like Phase on HoloLive, that is that $1 million contract, right? You get hundreds of thousands of subs that you never would have gotten any other way, without like a huge backing like that. Now, of course, because it is the NFL of VTubing. The amount, like, what is it, a 0.001% chance of getting in? I'd say roll those odds.
Big scene. Taken from me, who literally tried and just gave up and started applying to companies because it was so hard to make VTuber friends. And it really sucked to keep putting out of content that I was excited about, but only a handful of people in the entire world were able to see it, half of which were just bots or two of my league friends giving me a pity look view.
Oh, yeah.
Because again, getting out there without connection yourself, without discoverability from the platform is really hard, painful, and difficult. It feels easier just to try to join a corpo for the free friend group. I always see people giving this advice to stream on Twitch. Only reach out to other content creators similar size to you because they're more likely to collab with you. And at the end of the day, I don't know.
Oh boy, do I know that one. I did that with Gotcha. And I reached out to like the biggest Gotcha content creator at the time. He has me blocked now at like 400 subs. There's no way he was going to reply to me. And then another one at like 1,000 subs. And she still didn't reply to me. So it's like, I'm not getting replies anyways. I might as well work on my own stuff. But it's also not, man, like I've said before, it's never advantageous to go straight into Twitch. Like, you're kind of trolling just trying to grow Twitch on your own.
If I agree.
On
because
its own,
if a 10
sorry.
CCV streamer clubs with another 10 CCV streamer, all you're doing is wearing both of your small and it's even thinner. I think the real way to get popular as a VTuber is someone randomly clips you and blows up on Twitter/YouTube. A bigger creator shouts you out and features you. Do something controversial that people either hate you or love you.
It's really that easy. In theory. The theory behind it is easy. Just get clips.
For join a corpo and get a free friend group and a free extended social circle. Get insanely lucky by joining a VTuber company, one that doesn't put you on a
I really think it is kind of a requirement to do the collabs if you want to jump into like the upper echelon of streamers, right? When you break off from, I would say 200 to 300 to try to get to 1,000, and from 1,000 to like 10,000. I really think collabs really are just the move. It just feels like it. Someone else would probably have to tell me whether that's true or not, but it feels like it.
Evil torture device, and the nanosecond you lift your hand off the signing contract, not sure if one exists. And for the VTuber Andes, throw money at ads to inflate your sub count so people think you're more popular than you actually are. But it doesn't sound like a lot nicer to...
I'm not gonna lie. I see the promote feature on YouTube. I've said this to another VTuber. I was talking to him on Twitter. I always I was telling him that the promote feature on YouTube calls to me like the Green Goblin mask. It almost sounds worth it, right? To just get thrown into the algorithm by paying for it. It might not be though. At least I don't think so.
Pretend making it is all hard work and effort. If you collab enough with 10 CCV people like yourself, you'll blow up eventually. I think it feels more about luck, who you know, how much money you're willing to throw around, and how good of a character you're willing to play in order to rise to the top. And I mean, it's not really a problem. This is
unfortunately, yeah, a lot of it is luck.
necessarily on its own. It just feels like the shit to be peddled a lie. You just basically need to pull yourself.
It's kind of like, I swear this is a saying. It's about 80% luck. It's not. It's about getting lucky, but you have to be ready for when that lucky time comes, because those lucky moments only happen every so often. So it's like you have to be ready when it comes, right? You have to be not always at your best, but you gotta be able to be ready to act as if you are in that moment.
Up the bootstraps and grind harder. When it feels like the real pathway to popularity as a streamer or VTuber is 99% luck, lol.
That's probably the right number,
yeah. Benefited from this very same luck. CTV means concurrent views. So this specifically stood out to me because even though like I'm not particularly a big VTuber, literally all of the things that they listed here is nothing I did. None of these things happened to me. And so I feel like I was really interested in kind of going over it from my perspective on how I managed to get to this point and get past, you know, like the early stages of VTubing within just a year. And I also want to kind of not necessarily denounce, but like, kind of like debunk the pessimism from this post, because there is a way.
I'll probably talk about how I feel like I have grown, quote unquote, from where I am right now.
It's not all doom and gloom as it seems. It's
later,
not all
probably like
luck,
later when
genuinely.
she's done.
I mean, I'm not going to deny that there is luck, and I talk about it. Am I lucky? Yes. So I technically started streaming back in 2020, but obviously I didn't stream. I don't really like to count this because I didn't stream. Over on this side, though, is where I started streaming. This is like the point.
Is that Poker Man?
I decided that I was going to start streaming. This is September. This is right here. This is August, I think. The red is hours streamed, and the
I'm in
green
like the
is
perfect spot.
average
It's kind of funny.
So this is my Twitch tracker. I went from an average of 9 viewers back in September of 2024, all the way to 55 average of August of last month. This is partially luck, yes. I will admit my specific journey has been extremely fast to get to this point, but it's also not just luck. It is luck. And that is the truth.
It's not
like
luck, but
here,
it's luck.
It's also not, because there's a million other reasons why we got to this point, which are branding. Branding is such like an unbelievably important part of VTubing that like some people just like kind of ignore that fact. They think, oh, I have a model. Oh, I have my character design. That's good. That's all I really need. But that's not it. Your social media posts need to fit your branding. Your Discord needs to fit your branding.
My Twitter is pretty much dead. Not that I don't post, bro. I post so much on Twitter. I just never get on it. It honestly makes me want to kind of pay for it. Anyway, by the way, twitter.com/thebluedemonrin.
Your merch, your panels, your overlays, your banners, your icons,
hell no, I ain't having merch this early.
Your model. Because when people see this stuff, this is what they're going to think. If they see a picture of you out in the wild, they're gonna be like, oh, that's that person. If someone saw whether or not it's my my overlay without even me in it, whether or not it's my banners, even if I'm not in it, even if my branding isn't in
Bruce
it,
banner.
my theming. So even though I am technically a ghost virus VTuber, which is technically a part of my branding, but that's where most people stop. And in actuality, what matters as well is what you present yourself as. So obviously you're not going to I don't act like a ghost virus. I'm not. I'm myself, but I am a pixel artist. So I have a pixel model, which is extremely unique, and I'm a Windows 98 VTuber, which I brand all of my stuff around. I keep everything branded as Windows 98 or adjacent.
Windows
I've
98,
hard
dude, the
associated with being
classic
a pixel VTuber and a Windows 98 VTuber. And my specific overlay as well, I'm committed.
Oh man, that's kind of a hard one to say, because I guess I never really thought of it further from me being a VTuber, because the VTuber model really is just for me to have a face. Right, because I was a no-cam streamer before when I first tried to stream years ago. I just didn't use a camera, which using no camera would probably work for for League of Legends now, because League of Legends, honestly, you don't really need to be You don't really need to have a personality to stream League of Legends. You just have to be the best at one champion and you'll get views. So I had this model and like there's nothing else around it. I don't even have lore. I don't even know if like it's confirmed that I have a tail or not. My mom, my rigging mom, drew a tail on me and I'm like, I don't have a tail. Maybe I have a tail now. I don't know.
Getting to it extremely hard. People don't look at me like, oh, that's the ghost virus. People see me as the pixel model Windows 98 VTuber.
Hey, that's Rin. That's the guy who said something super inappropriate on Twitter.
That's what people see me as. And then when it comes to thinking about your own branding, what are you? And is there someone like you? Let's say you're a Sakura Kitsune, which is
I think although I have a minimalist design, right? There's not much really to me. Hold on, let me pull myself up. Despite like that, there's not really much to me. I still feel like I have a unique-ish design, right? Because, you know, I have a certain fashion that I like. And then I have a second one in mind, which I feel like would also be pretty unique. Although it would also be inspired by a, funny enough, a Genshin character, you know, while she's showing Yai Miko. And although I ain't got the money for it, so that's going to be a while. But yeah, I feel like I still somehow stand out in how I look.
is extremely popular.
It might be the
Of
bun.
course, there's not going to be other people like you, but you have to find a niche within that. So let's say like you're a Sakura Kitsune who specifically loves to cook, and your entire branding is that one pink animal VTuber who does cooking streams. So you have to think about, like, are you this person? What do you do? Is there someone that does stuff like you? And if there's yes to all of them, then you might need to think of something else.
There's not much people who do things like I do. I don't think. No, there's definitely a lot more reactors. There's not a lot of VTubers in Gacha. You would think there is, but there's not a lot of Gacha VTubers. And then the few male VTubers we have had went face cam, which is like one of them people might even know is Kazuha. He used to be a VTuber, and I don't know how much Gacha content he still makes, but yeah, he went face cam. That seems to be the way that people go when it comes to male VTubers. So,
and that also applies to, like I was talking about, it's not just your overlays as well. It's a big part. I won't lie. Right. It is extremely important. I don't have overlays. But at the same time, you have all of these things. It's the way you present yourself, not just on your streams. Panels, it's banners, the whole package. Overlays, icons, because think about it, like, how do you find someone? You don't normally find them by just browsing Twitch. It happens. Trust me, it happens. Right. But you find them through social media. You find them through on YouTube videos. You find someone has your merch. Wow. You find them on Twitter, or you see like a picture of them just randomly at some point. You have to like think about the fact that like people aren't just gonna find you for your streams. People are gonna find you in like a million different other ways as well. So here's a bunch of examples of what I'm talking about. Behind me, sorry, I'm blocking it, but behind me it says giving your community a reason to keep coming back, which applies to this, but it also applies to what I was talking about earlier. You see how everything I have is the same color scheme. It has pixel motifs. For my announcement posts, you can tell this is me. I have my Windows 98 stuff. I have my color scheme. I have a silhouette of my model. I have the dates and stuff. Even the font is pixelated because this is my theme. I keep in the theme here too. I have my Windows 98. This is for my subathon. Down here is my merchandise, which is keeping within my branding. These are all things for people to look forward to. And that's why I made this post the other day. This is gets cut off here, but it says create the free things for your community. I made you guys a little puppet that you guys could make. I have you guys free wallpapers. And merchandising is also a part of branding as well, which I think is really important. Like I was talking about, not even just like the theme, but just having it in general. I never really thought of merch. I made this post to show people you do not. My merch is definitely going to be a lot with the company. There's definitely going to be a lot more. Affiliate yourself with any sort of brand, or learn how to like make physical merch yourself. You can do so many things for your community for free. And I think this is like a big part of why a lot of people keep coming back to me, is because I not only stream for you guys, but I also give you guys a lot of things, not only just to support me, but to show off your appreciation.
Right.
There's so many things that you could be doing for your community that like a lot of people don't even like think about. I feel like people just like kind of give up. They look at merchandising like on like websites like this where you need to affiliate yourself with. They think like, oh, I need to be a big VTuber to have merch. No, you do not. Anyone can do this. Anyone can give your community free wallpapers. You have a commissioned wallpaper or drawing that you got a while ago that you're not really using for anything. Give it to your community to use as a wallpaper. If you have like art talent or art ability, or if you have the
I couldn't
funds to
draw
do it,
the
commission
stick
someone
figure.
to make something like this, whether it's like a little standee that you can make with like a cardboard, whether it's this little dangling thing.
I love standees.
That I
I have way too many standees. How many? Okay, I have 2 Shy Lily standees in front of me. I have my friend Sully, and I have an Ambi standee from the Papa Bread. Is that what it's called? The Papa Bread collab. I have a Gura, not standee, but a Gura figure. Not figure. What is this? The thing from Good Smile. I have one of those. I have a Gura and an Iron Mask one because those are usually like, those are 2 of my 2 big inspirations to me.
that I came up with.
And then I recently got this little demon dice plushie. It's so cute, Chad. It just stays right there, surrounded by 2 cards from V cards. It holds its own little V card on it. I just thought it was cute, so I just like put the little V card on it. And then my deck of Pippa cards from Oshi Push. Why am I telling you guys what's on my desk? I'm so sorry.
So many things that you could
I don't
be
know
doing
that
that I think a lot of people kind of just like forget about.
I don't know how that
'Cause
happened.
Either they feel like they can't do anything, so they give up, or they only see like you know like the big physical merch instead of like, oh, what can I possibly do? So we're gonna go to this one.
Chat, I'm gonna give you guys a
this kinda
coin.
Ties into
How
what I
about
was
that?
talking about. Using your skills. Are you an editor? Are you
Not
an
a rug
artist? Are you
pull
rigger?
skin.
Play
A rug
into
pull.
what you're good at. Behind me it says money helps but doesn't buy everything. But so my particular skills is as an artist. So what I am able to do is I'm able to make my own models. I'm able to make art for you guys. I'm able to create little crafts and projects for you guys to do and support me. But I'm not a very good editor. I'm an absolutely terrible editor. So I have somebody
Right.
else do that for me. But there's
Me?
some people out there who
Tony Stark
who
me.
have skills and things that I'm not good at, and they can use that to their advantage. So for me, I can't edit a video for shit.
I feel like
have
I'm
to outsource
missing-
that. But there's some people out there who are really, really good at editing videos.
Yeah.
And you can use that as a part of your branding. So for example, if you are like puppet that you guys
Oh,
could
I lost
make,
where I was.
need
Oh,
to
that's not good.
take a moment and rethink and reassess yourself. Am I doing something that is making me happy? And if I'm not, then what can
I think
I
I skipped
do
ahead.
to remedy?
That's fine. She just kept talking about merch. I kind of want
Yeah.
to skip ahead
So
of that.
for example, if I'm doing content that I wouldn't enjoy, I probably wouldn't even be here. But I love doing art. I love talking so much. There's some people who don't even like talking and just like to like kind of chill and play games. I'm not really a gamer. If I
Is
just
that
sat here and played
Dokers?
games all day, I probably wouldn't have fun VTubing. my
I definitely got a lot better speaking in the past year. That's for sure. Because I used to only stream League of Legends, and when I did that, I mostly was a competitive game streamer, right? I used to play. Of course, I used to play League. I played Fortnite competitively, and then I played any other competitive game out there. And the thing about competitive games is that they're terrible for talking to people. And I had to learn how to actually talk to people when I got into gacha. Because once I got into that, then we actually had, like, what am I going to do? There's no competing. There's nothing that's going to take my attention away from people. Like, gacha games really are just 5% gameplay and like 95% talking, because like the gameplay only like takes up so much of the gameplay of streaming, and there's only like a new story every other month.
joy in VTubing is interacting and chatting and talking and teaching you guys things that I really like about VTubing and doing art, which is something I absolutely love. Like, VTubing literally rekindled my joy for doing art again. And I think
I would
finding
love to
something
learn how to
that
do art,
fills
that's
you
for
with
sure.
confidence and something that you enjoy, and you feel like you're gaining
'cause I'm
something
terrible at
really
it.
good out of it is super important.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people tend to kind of force themselves themselves to do something that they don't really want to do. And I think that's a part of the reason people get really burnt out. So now we're going to be moving on to the big one.
Okay.
You know, knowing people who are better
here
than
we
you
go.
does help. I'm not going to deny it. It's important. It is, but you do not need to know them before you start. In the first post, it talked about in here, because of a 10cc streamer collabs with another 10ccv streamer, all you're doing is wearing both of your small audiences thinner. I do not agree with this. I definitely don't. Like, maybe if you're collabing with the same people over and over and over again, but the whole point of collabing is to branch out. Because when you're on 10ccv, any amount of people who find you and come back is the most important thing ever. I think this kind of like attitude towards like small streamers like and their communities don't matter, because they do. It doesn't matter how many people are in those communities. Having people find out who you are is the most important thing ever. Whether it's 10 CCV, 5 CCV, it doesn't matter. Because at the same time too, you can't be collaborating with everybody, which sucks.
Right.
If you're looking to specifically grow, you do have to kind of pick and choose who you collaborate with. You can collaborate with anyone you want if you don't really care, but if you're trying to specifically grow, you need to collaborate with people who have
covering up
or
oh no,
are,
I'm not
have
covering
been
up Baraka.
or
Look, it's
are in
Baraka.
the same niche as you.
I love Baraka.
So for example, if I collaborate with, I'm trying to think of somebody completely random. I don't know, let's say Corone. So, for example, obviously I'm gonna get all the people who come to my streams, but I am not a gamer. People watch Corone to be a gamer. We have completely different vibes, first of all. Second of all, communities. And third of all, I don't do the same things that she does.
I think the best thing, how do I say this? This is a time in VTubing where you have, sorry, I almost choked them on spit there. This is like the perfect time for VTubing collabs because of the amount of, and I'm just going to use this word because this is kind of, this is just the reality of what they are. There is an insane amount of friend slot of games that come out so regularly, right? Like it used to just be Among Us during like the lockdown and all that. A lot of people would just play Among Us. That's kind of all there is, and that's all like there really was to play. Nowadays, there's like a new friend swap like every other month or day, right? Which was the other one right now? I think it's an RV one. I don't remember what it's called. Something RV. RV there yet. Right? That's the next friend swap right there. Right? There was Peak. There was the one where there's two people. This is not Power Wash Simulator. You can have a one-on-one on that. I don't know how many people can play Power Wash Simulator, Power Wash Simulator 2, but there's right there. There's just so many games where you could play Cook Up, Plate Up, or is it Cook Up, Cooking something? Plate Up, Peak just had a new update. You know, all these games where you can just have a group of VTubers come together, whether you're bigger, same CCV, like whatever CCV that it is, and you could just play, right? And it just, because the games themselves are okay, right? I think Peak is an okay game. I think the best part about it is the amount of content you can make out of it. And the same with any other kind of friend slop game. There's just so many of them that collabs, there's no excuse to not get a collab going, right? These games are cheap, they're small, they don't take up a lot of time. They're maybe like an hour long, like a few hours that you could just milk over and over out of it. And it's like you might as well get a collab going with people, right?
Because I think a lot of people's issues is that they stream with streamers who do not mesh with you in the sense of their community.
Oh, also, and you don't have to be like the best gamer. In fact, sometimes the worse gamer you are, the better clips you're gonna get.
These are nothing like yours, and I think that's a lot of like people's like issues. Like they'll stream with someone who like is like bigger than them, and they won't see like a turnout. And
right.
like, of course, those people aren't catered to your kind of content. They're catered to that person's content. And then of course there's corpos.
Bam, bam.
Corpos recently have been kind of in the negative light of VTubing, obviously recently. So there's a lot of issues there, of course. Corpos are not the answer, but like Nemo was talking here, the whole reason they made it and they felt like they were able to like keep on going was because they were a part of a corpo. And the unfortunate reality is you will 100% get more eyes on you if you do join a corpo. I mean, that's just how it is. When you're affiliated with a company, you're going to have like a higher chance of people like learning about you.
Yeah. But corpos are the answer depending on the question, right? If your question is you want to have things handled for you and you want to have a pre-existing, what's it called? A pre-existing fan base that you know would fit you well. Same thing with like the other people that you could collab with. If all that feels like it fits you well, then yes, corpos is the answer, right? We can't just say no and corpo's bad. Like I said, like people don't want to have an adult conversation about it, but if you look at it objectively, the right corpo is the answer for you. Is it the answer for everybody? No, of course not. Why would it be? You know, if you can make it on your own, you should make it on your own. But I'm just saying.
That doesn't mean that you need to join a corpo. It's not a must.
It's not a one size fits all, and it doesn't solve every problem just joining a corpo, right? We've heard so many stories of joining a corpo actually being terrible for people and not only not solving their problems, but causing problems, right? So you got to know what you're getting into and where you would fit in there. Not me. I want to let me and Niji Sanji. I'm busting down the doors. I'm getting them all in shape. Don't you worry about that. Every problem that Niji Sanji had, I'm getting them in line. Don't you worry. I'll fix them.
You never need to. Obviously, it'll help.
I'll get in there.
Careful.
I'll get in there and I'll hit who's the top guy? What's his name? Vox. I'll get in there and I'll hit Vox with a crossroads. That'll get everyone's attention.
Because of how predatory a lot of them have been recently, and even Nemo acknowledges that in their post. I think what the most important thing, like takeaway from all of this, is yes, there are points where Nemo is correct. Yes, there's so much luck involved in VTubing.
Of course there is.
You will have
it's not even just VTubing, it's just content creation in general. You just gotta get lucky. Right.
Higher chance if you join a corporation. Yes, you will have a higher chance of succeeding if you collab with bigger creators.
Yep.
But there's what I'm trying to convey is there's so many things that you can do to reach genuine success. I have not been fully successful just yet. I'm really proud of where I've gotten to. I'm not gonna like put down my achievements. I'm extremely proud. And I feel like I've worked really hard and done like a lot of like things and fun events for my community and to grow. And I've met some of like the coolest people I've ever met in my entire life in this last year.
Wait,
but
is that
the coolest people
Oh no,
I've ever met in my entire life in this last year. But in the end, you do have to just love what you do. And I do love what I do. And I feel like if you don't realize that things are going to take a lot of work, and sometimes for some people, unfortunately, it's going to take a lot more work. I think putting a post out like this to the community, yes, you are technically right, but at the same time, I wonder how many people who could have been some of the biggest VTubers read this and realized, oh, well, what's the point then? I just won't even try. And I think we need to send out a more positive message, but not positive in like the sense that you're sugarcoating everything. Yes, it's gonna be hard, but there's so many things that you could be doing. And that's
unfortunately, a lot of VTubing is getting sugarcoated because, and I hate to say it, I don't want to say we're a bunch of, like a lot of VTubers are a bunch of pussies, but like when a lot of things that surround VTubing has to do with safe spaces, you know what I'm saying? This channel is not a safe space. I hold weekly bannings every Saturday. There's no safety here. I'm just kidding. I host 1v1s where the loser gets banned.
That's what I'm kind of like.
That's how you. That's how you know
you're.
You're only safe if you
There's nothing wrong
survive.
with making posts like this, but at the same time, I feel like instead of the entire post just being doom and gloom, success can happen if you do work hard. It's not all shit. It's not all gonna go into the gutter. All your time is not gonna go to waste. There's things that you can do, and even if you don't end up doing all of those things, and even if you end up failing in the end, you should be trying your best to like have fun at least.
Right.
Yeah, that is my presentation from a VTuber who's extremely underqualified to be talking about any of this stuff.
Fine. I guess you are my little bite champ. Come here.
Nice. I didn't learn anything. No, I'm just kidding. I want to do this. This is really cool. I need to use this feature. Like, can I subscribe from here? No, I can't. That was a pretty good. A good. What's the word I'm looking for? A nice perspective from someone who has been working hard on VTubing. I know I've seen this. This video came across my feed, and I had to watch it for myself. This is a good one. I really liked it. I did say that I was going to talk about how I feel like I succeeded, especially as a reactor. I'm not gonna lie, it's just a lot of copying, if that makes sense. Like, the roadmap to reacting is already laid out. You just gotta know which way you want to go down and make sure that you have your own personality as well, right? I'm not reacting. I might look up to Alana and be very inspired by her, but I'm pretty sure there's a big difference between the both of us, right? And there has to be, because obviously I'm a man. I can't get on here and be like, hey, women are women, am I right, guys? That's going to make me look bad. But I do like coming on here and having my own things to talk about, right? When I talk about the boys and talking about VTubing and talking about games. Games are a big part of what I love and other stuff. So it really is luck, shorts, and personality. So make sure you probably doing all three of those. Anyways, chat. I know this is it's called the current state, but I think this was a pretty good. We're gonna call this the science behind succeeding as a VTuber, chat. Anyways, let me know how you guys feel. Comment, like, subscribe. I'll catch you gamers in the next one. Bye.